To other news now, and a campaign group wants the architects who wrapped the Grenfell Tower in flammable cladding to be held to account. The failures of their employer, Studio E, were called significant in the official inquiry. But legal campaigners now want to go a step further. They claim the regulator, who holds a register of every qualified architect, should have done more to examine the competence of those whose job it was to refurbish the tower. Martel reports.
Okay, this is it.
They're handing in a complaint
Can you go for it?
that could stop another tragedy.
Hello, how can I help?
Hi, we've got a complaint to register with the Architects Registration Board.
You've got a complaint?
Yeah.
The complaint is about the architects of Grenfell and how the regulator is accused of not regulating them.
We just handed in a complaint to the Architects Registration Board about the architects who were responsible for the negligent refurbishment of Grenfell Tower.
7.5 years have passed since the fire that killed 72 people. And despite the publication of the Grenfell Tower Inquiry report, there's been no accountability for those responsible.
And we think everybody, after a tragedy, preventable tragedy like Grenfell, has a role to play in making sure it doesn't happen again. And the Architects Registration Board's role is to make sure the architects on their books know that there will be consequences if they don't do things right.
I don't remember noticing it.
Bruce Soons was Grenfell's lead architect, shown here appearing at the inquiry, working for a company called Studio E, which has since gone bust. For many survivors and bereaved, this is about justice and accountability. One family who lost 3 relatives on the 19th floor of the tower say the Grenfell architects didn't have the relevant knowledge, skills or experience needed to work on a high-rise cladding project. From the initial plans, the cladding options made by Grenfell architects. But they weren't the only ones found to be responsible for the tragedy. The final report found a web of blame that included 19 companies and organisations. Is this not just about these Grenfell architects, but about the wider building industry to make all buildings safe and we don't get another Grenfell?
There are hundreds of thousands of people still living in blocks with flammable cladding. And you've got to say, the architects in those cases should know the risks in the buildings that they are renovating or building. And it's shocking that these things are still happening. This is a national scandal.
In a statement, the Architects Registration Board told us that formal investigations have commenced into whether any architects involved in the refurbishment of the tower might be guilty of a disciplinary offence under the Architects Code. But with the letter of complaint delivered, the wait for justice at Grenfell continues. Martel, ITV News.